Welcome back to Auto Minute, where today I'll be reviewing the brand new Kia EV6. And in this video, I'll be talking about my experience driving it, the pros, the cons, and why this EV6 is the one to get. Let's go. Kia has come forth with its all-electric competitor in the form of the EV6. And just on design alone, I find this car quite appealing. It's got a stylish front nose with elegant body lines that carry all the way to the back, giving it that slopey, fastback look. And once we get to the back, I mean sheesh. Not only is this thing a hatchback, which I appreciate, but Kia has thrown the kitchen sink at it. I think there's a line between great design and over-designing something. However, I do believe Kia has actually found a way to make this thing work. We've got lines and curves and different accents and textures and an awesome light bar, which runs across the entire back of the vehicle and appears to be the trend of luxury vehicles these days. Does look pretty cool though, right? It also sits on 19-inch aero wheels, which fit the look of the car, but cannot really compare to the awesome wheels found in the GT trim. Before we get to the inside, let's take a look at these door handles. These are completely flush to keep the lines clean and improve drag, a page from the Tesla handbook, but I personally do not like this. I'm sure it's something folks get used to over time. You literally need a technique and to be positioned perfectly in order to open the door. And I find myself on a few occasions rushing to hit the road, only to find myself irritated by the handle design. That said, whatever time I wasted in opening the door can easily be made up by the performance of this motor. The measured power figures might not blow you out of the water on paper, but the instant torque delivery shoves you back in the seat and races you to 60 miles per hour in under 5 seconds. That's quick. And if range anxiety is an issue for you, the 77.4 kilowatt hour battery on this model gives you a maximum range of 285 miles and 310 miles for the rear-wheel drive model. And if and when you are low on charge, this vehicle also has 800 volt ultra fast charging capability, which allows you to charge your battery to 80% in just 18 minutes. Now let's talk about the interior. Once I get past these door handles, I'm greeted by a stylish cockpit interior. Everything is laid out quite nicely and has an upscale elegant look. Seats are comfy and adjustable with lumbar, and all the controls are laid out at your fingertips. It really makes you feel like you're in charge of this spaceship. We see this large digital panel up here which houses the gauges as well as the infotainment and navigation screen. I gotta say, I was skeptical of the design when they first released photos, but man, it works. I'm just glad this thing has black bezels to give the design some continuity, unlike the white bezels found on the Ioniq 5. We've got an easy to use rotary gear selector with camera, auto hold, and parking sensor buttons available at your fingertips. As we move our gaze slightly higher, we see the vehicle on button, which is angled pointing towards the driver with EV written right in the middle. Above that, we've got buttons for heated and cool seats for both driver and passengers, as well as heated steering wheel option. We've also got a wireless charging pad here, which can I say, just felt intuitive. Placing your cell phone there just makes sense, and kudos to Kia for doing something so simple really well. We've also got two normal size cup holders and storage above and below the center console. I gotta say, this entire assembly is extremely cool. And wanna know what else is cool? Check out what they've done with the climate and media controls. We've got two scroll buttons on either side, but with just a simple tap here, the entire display shifts to control either the climate or the media. Now that's clever, and that's an excellent way to minimize materials and maximize the space within the interior. As we make our way to the back seats, we've got a generous amount of room to seat 3 people. The lack of a transmission tunnel in EV cars is always an added benefit to anyone sitting in the middle. What's also nice is that we've got climate vents on either side, and the seats have a decent amount of recline so you can really cozy up and get comfortable for longer road trips. There are several things that I did not like in the back, however. The seat pockets are weird, and I'm not sure why it was designed this way. It barely opens and feels more like a filing cabinet. The headrest design on the front passenger seats remind me of something from a weird alien movie. We've also got 2 USB-C charge ports available, but these are located on the side of the front passenger seats. Seems like a good idea, but also a bit weird. The back of the seats themselves are cheap feeling a little bit plasticky. This can work in your favor if you've got kids who just keep kicking the back of the seats, otherwise meh. And lastly, the visibility out of the windows are great, but I think having a panoramic roof would really elevate this interior, especially in this car segment. As for cargo space, we've got 24.4 cubic feet with the seats up and a reasonable 50.2 cubic feet with the seats down. What is cool is that the seats do fold completely flat, and transporting something like a full-size bicycle is easy work. The large hatch opening makes for easy loading and unloading of items, but can also eat away at the space for box tier items due to the fastback design. So, with all that being said, does the EV6 work in the real world? Absolutely. And to be completely honest, I would personally choose this trim over the top spec GT, and this is why. The Wind is an extremely quick vehicle as is for $10,000 less than the GT with better range at 285 miles. And if you decide to go the rear-wheel drive route, that range bumps up to 310 miles, and these are respectable numbers for an EV compared to the maximum EV range of 206 miles for the top spec GT. That's not ideal for an everyday car in my opinion, competing in today's EV market. Now don't get me wrong, the GT is amazing in its own right with all the bells and whistles and the drift modes, but it's catered towards performance and easily kicks you over $62,000. Now that's a spicy price tag. I think there's a lot you can get for the money with the Wind, and it checks off all the boxes for an everyday car while being fun. Driving it around felt natural, and there wasn't a huge learning curve when it came to the controls. Nothing about it felt weird. And as for looks, I might go as far as saying it's probably the best looking EV in the market today. The Kia EV6 will surprise many people out there, so definitely give it a peek. And be sure to hit the like button and comment below if there's something I missed or if you'd like to see a review on something else. Cheers and drive safe, y'all. Peace.